Hey everybody. I guess not all of y'all know me because this is on the internet. But quite a few of you folks know me. My name is Nathan Cox. I live here in the Richmond, Virginia area. I just heard about a guy named Eustace Conway a couple hours ago through an article from the Daily Mail over in the UK about the situation that he's having with government bureaucrats and some county or town that he apparently has property in North Carolina. The name of his preserve is called Turtle Island Preserve, and he's been managing that and championing the ideas of survivalism, homesteading, self-sufficiency, and stuff of that nature for more than 25 years now. After reading the article, I pulled up some videos on YouTube, found some other news clips about what's going on with the situation, which I will link to in this video. Some very excellent news, newscasts, surprisingly enough. Let me see here. There's a couple things I'm talking about. This whole video is going to be pretty much impromptu, ad-lib, so I'll try to keep my best to keep it short and to the point. But obviously, Eustace, he needs help, and he needs our help. He described himself to me as somebody who isn't a fish out of water when it comes to the social issue he's in, when it comes to this political issue that he's in, and when it comes to dealing with government bureaucrats. Obviously, that is something that I have been doing the last couple of years since I got out of the Army. I've had my own issues with my own battles with government bureaucrats, and I've helped out many other people here locally and across the country as well. So I feel compelled to help this man out. Brooke is running around trying to figure out why I'm so excited. A lot of what he stands for and a lot of what he is doing today is stuff that is my future goals. My future goal is to to create enough wealth for myself to buy property, self-sustain, homestead, and do pretty much along the lines of what he is doing. Maybe to not to that extreme, but pretty close to it. I want to be self-sufficient, growing my own food, producing my own energy. I don't want to be a slave to the system. And he does an amazing job at educating people on just how to do that. Anyway, so whether you're interested in self-sufficiency, homesteading, or any of the stuff that I just mentioned, I'm sure you're going to be willing to help this guy. And many of the people that I know, even within the Liberty movement, that is one of their goals too, is to just to be left alone by the government bureaucrats who want to live peaceful, honest lives. With voluntary cooperation, not initiating force against anybody else, stuff of that nature. Whew. So, let me see. He needs our help. Like I said, whether that's your mantra or not, I know for many of us it is. I did talk to him about the Liberty movement, or what the Liberty movement is about. Specifically voluntarism, the non-aggression principle, living peaceful and non-violent lives, voluntary cooperation, so on and so forth. And he is that's pretty much how he self-identifies. So I certainly, without a doubt, consider him a part of the family in the Liberty movement here. He might not be going out there educating the public like many of us have tried to do, or he might not be out there trying to change the system like many of us are in the habit of doing. But he has done stuff, he's accomplished stuff that not a lot of people have, and a lot of people have referred to him as a Henry David Thoreau. And Daniel Boone and stuff, characters along those lines. And I've in the 56-minute conversation I've already had with this guy, I already admire him, I already love the guy, and highly respect what he has done. I feel, like I said, I feel like this. He actually told me that I am an answered prayer. They've been praying about what to do with the situation. They've been praying about help. He told me about a month or two ago the county told him that well, we'll let you keep on living here, but your volunteers have to leave. So half of his volunteers, he told me, left, half of them stayed, and he continues to reside there. He believes that they're kind of in a limbo right now. They haven't given him an exit date or a date to be in compliance by, and he told me that he has no desire to be in compliance with these government bureaucrats. He wants to peacefully non-cooperate and civilly disobey. He strongly believes in property rights and the principles and the philosophies that helped founded this country, which for the most part were based on property rights, although we all know the Constitution is not perfect and really, unfortunately, has not done much to prevent the atrocities that are occurring today here in the United States. And that's a paraphrased quote by Lysander Spooner, which Lysander and Eustace share at least one similar characteristic, which is their long beard. Anyway, he told me in the last 12 hours he's gotten 500 emails. I asked him what he needed. I told him what my skill sets were, what I like doing, what I'm good at doing. Everything that he needs, I am very good at doing. He told me he does not like asking people for money. He's never asked. In fact, it didn't sound like he's ever asked anybody for money. Their reserve or preserve does take donations. It didn't look like on their website that there was a donations page, which that's something that I'm going to change as soon as I get a hold of the webmaster. But these 500 emails, I'm sure, are people asking, what can I do to help? Can I donate this, that, and the other? Some of you know my financial situation. Since I got out of the Army, I've struggled to find employment like many of my other veteran friends and non-veteran friends have as well. I recently just obtained a full-time job, and this week is my third week. And today we were actually off because of the bad weather. And honestly, I do not find that a coincidence. Like I said, this man told me that I was an answered prayer, and I truly believe that this is an opportunity that God is giving me to go down there and help him out. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, and that's exactly why I'm making this video, is to help expose and bring awareness to Eustace's situation, and to share what the support that I'm going to need in order to get down there, hopefully as soon as next week, to get on site and to help him out around the clock. So he needs help. He told me he's pretty much like a caveman when it comes to computers and the internet. There's only one other person down there that's somewhat familiar with stuff. She's helping manage the Facebook page. It sounds like I could be an admin or a manager on that Facebook page, possibly by the end of the day. He told me he has no problem with, I told him, I don't have a lot of bills where I live at now. I'm renting out my grandmother's house. She's 100 years old. She lives about a mile and a half. When I got out of the Army, I moved in with my grandma to help her out around the house because my grandfather died. She moved out of the house after a little more than a year of me living with her. She had been on a waiting list here locally for a retirement community. My rent here helps pay for her situation over there, even though they just bumped up their resident fees pretty substantially. So anyway, I'm looking after her property. The house is still fully furnished, and that's pretty much why I reside here, to help look after her property and to maintain it and to take care of it. My parents live a street over, and they're hanging in by a thread. Let's just say that as well. So I told him, my financial situation. I told him that in order for me to get down there, I would need support. In order for me to get down there, I would need some level of sustained support. My rent here is $700. It's under market value, so I can, maintain the property and so on and so forth. Total, if I left here, I obviously wouldn't have to pay water or electric. We'd probably turn that stuff off until I could find somebody who I can trust to live here in this furnished house with my family and my grandmother's property. But if that doesn't happen, then it's no big deal. We'll shut off the water and electric, and and so on and so forth. So if I go down there, which is my plan to go down there next week, the bills I will have is a $700 rent bill, $110 Verizon bill, which includes unlimited data, which I will definitely need when I get down there. And car insurance, which I think is around, it's close to $100 a month. I think it's like 75 or 80 bucks. So essentially, I have about $900 in bills a month. Again, that's not including water and stuff, which I won't need if nobody's living here. So he told me that he felt pretty confident because he doesn't ask people for money that I could raise him money, and I'm somewhat good at fundraising. I'm very good at networking. I'm very good at organizing. I'm very good at social media and uniting people online. And I'm very good. I've done volunteer coordinating before. I've volunteered myself before. I'm 31 years old. I've got a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. He told me that if I'm able to raise the money, that he has no personal problem paying for the $900 in bills that I would have, back here, in order to continue to pay my rent, even though I'm not living here, which will go to my grandmother to help her situation out over there. So that's that. He actually, and I don't think I've already mentioned this in the video yet, but he told me that he has 2 loans out right now, a personal loan and a loan in the preserves names. Apparently for the last 25 years, because of the lack, they just get kind of random donations that trickle in from time to time, and it sounds like they're not very substantial. And again, he doesn't ask for money, and I didn't check hard enough, but I'm almost certain there's no donation links or anything like that on their website. So that's probably a big reason why they don't get donations. I asked him about how many people have come through there since he's been there. He said thousands. I said, do you have schools, daycare, stuff like that come by? He said, yeah. I said, would it be unrealistic to say hundreds of thousands have come by there? He said, I don't think it would. He said, to what degree? 800,000 or 200,000? He said he would be a little bit more reserved on the number. But he's made a huge impact in people's lives. From what I heard, he's either he's been featured in a TV show, or he's briefly had a TV show. Like I said, I just found out about the guy today, unfortunately, because the guy is he's awesome. So mentioning his loans, I mentioned that because those will be a priority as well. Everything that he's done, those loans were taken out for operating cost expenses. Operating expenses, operation cost, or however you want to refer to it. So he's pretty much, everything that he does there, the preserve, keeping up with things, all the tours, fuel for his trucks, so on and so forth, come from him. And which isn't a bad thing, and but it certainly is a selfless act. So my goal is to raise enough money for me to get down there, because unfortunately I'm still broke and I'm behind in my own rent. My next goal would be to raise enough money to expunge, I guess you could say, the loans that he has, which he didn't tell me how much they were up to. It didn't sound like it was anything significant, but I know that if I ask him, he won't have a problem telling me what those numbers might be. And then from there, we can. I'm just going to pretty much continue to fundraise for him and help out his preserve there, because he's doing such an incredible service and task to humanity, really. So I guess. That's a lot of the backstory. These government bureaucrats are coming after him. I guess the media attention is finally starting to trickle in. I'm going to help out with that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to turn into the public relations guy or not, but we're going to certainly need as many volunteers as possible. It sounds like he's got ample space down there, 500 acres, extra cabins, plenty of room for tents. If anybody else wants to come down there and help out on site, you are more than welcome. I certainly cannot do everything that is going to need to be done, and I'm going to need the support and the help from many other volunteers, whether I know you or I don't know you. But I know a lot of people, especially within this state range, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, South Carolina, Maryland, this area that I'm sure are willing to help, whether it's on site or through the internet or so on and so forth. So my plea to you is to track the situation, is to email these government bureaucrats to get off their back, to start respecting property rights and stop undermining property rights. That email address will be in the link to this description, video description as well. The link to this really good news article or newscast, along with the Daily Mail article that I originally saw this morning on Facebook. Those 3 links will be in the video description as well. I'm going to create an, I think it's an Indiegogo or whatever account to help raise money for this entire situation. I wouldn't put it past constitutional lawyers or civil rights lawyers to help him out pro bono, and I'd be willing to bet that there's people already have contacted him or are scheming to contact him and help him out. Raising money is one of the bullet points I need to highlight, not only for myself, but for his loans and for his preserve. Volunteers, I need as many volunteers as possible, and if you're willing to go down there on site and to help out, let me know that as well. Let me see, the third thing is helping. We still need to get this story. This story is just now beginning to peak thanks for the Daily Mail, UK. We need to help this story get viral. A lot of people who I've been seeing sharing it, aren't even survivalists or homesteaders, but they respect that, they respect that, that area or that lifestyle, and people, people respect property rights, and the guy does nothing against other people. He just wants to live his life, take care of his 82-year-old mother, and and live free. I'm hoping and praying that I can get down there as soon as next week. I haven't even mentioned this to my employer yet. They're gonna probably notice it in this video before I even get a chance to talk to them. But I think I've done enough rambling for right now. So just to reiterate, help get the word out. Share these links. Share the Turtle Island Preserve Facebook page. Right now they're at about 4,400 likes. Let's triple that by the end of the week. As soon as I get a donate link or donate issue going, let's get some money donated to the guy. And if you've got any ideas, any contacts, any media outlets, any journalists who want to pick up the story, let's make it happen. So let's raise awareness. Let's raise some money. And let's raise a volunteer army. The guy said he's going out. No matter what happens, he's going out with a fight. He said he's willing to defend it until death. And quite frankly, if that's what it comes down to, I am too. So hopefully it doesn't get to that. Hopefully we can resolve the situation peacefully, and it doesn't start another violent revolution. And I don't think it will. And that's certainly not my goal, and that's certainly not the movement's goal, is to start some violent revolution, because we're about nonviolence. We're about peace and voluntary cooperation. So we just want to let these government bureaucrats know that they don't govern us. We don't consent to them making decisions for us, and they certainly have no right or no authority to tell people how they can live or can't live, especially on their own property. The guy's got 500 acres, and it's very, very likely that developers want that property. It's very, very likely that the government wants him off the property for whatever reason. We've seen it, eminent domain issues rise time and time again. So help me help Eustace. Get me down there as soon as possible and let me do some work for this guy, because I'm really enthusiastic about it, as you can tell, and I'm really eager to get down there, meet him, and do some actual groundwork. Alright, thanks again. I'm going to be doing updates and more videos on my actual website for once, whoisnatecox.com. I know the site's been up and running for probably about 6 months. I haven't really done much with it, but all my old blogs are on there. some other links and stuff like that are on there as too, but this is a good opportunity for me to help get the word out as well. So I'll be using my personal website as a medium to help raise awareness, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll be managing the Turtle Preserve or Turtle Island Preserve Facebook page as well. So if you want to contact me, whether you're media, whether you want to support, financially support Eustace and the Turtle Island Preserve, just contact me or contact Eustace or email those folks. I'll probably end up making a special Gmail account for this, and if I do, I'll add that to the video description as well. All right, so let's make this happen. Let's help this guy out. Let's stand for freedom. Let's stand for freedom. Let's stand for peace. Let's stand for voluntary cooperation, and let's stand against tyranny. Let's make it happen.